Alright, let's get this stream started. Pouring me some whiskey. It's time to get this Last of Us soon done, considering that the sequel is soon out. And as such, I guess I really need to get the gaming done rather quickly. Hello, I be lurking. How are you? How are things over there? Let's start by killing somebody. No? What? Oh yeah, this is a
We need to get up
pal
there.
of mine. But I wanted to kill him so badly.
That ladder could work.
I think I was in the middle of some zombie-like creatures last time, but guess this just got into a phase where all of those were taken care now. Oh yeah, now I remember actually where I was. I was somewhere downstairs. Yeah, that way. Alright. So, are you people looking forward to get to the next Last of Us
Here,
next week?
come here, boost me up.
Because I'm really stoked about the sequel.
Ready?
I was really stoked about this game when it came out, and I'm definitely enjoying this second run as well. So
You be quick.
next
Keep a
week
lookout for those things.
should be interesting. Just too bad that the thing is, in Finland anyway, we are basically celebrating midsummer, and that means pretty much no gaming, because it's most about drinking and eating and relaxing, maybe going skinny dipping. So not so much gonna hang around with the games, you know. Hello, Cosmic. Nice to have you here once again. Loyal viewers are the best. Hello, Alex. Nice to have you here as well. We need always some Irish pricks to lighten up the mood. But yeah, anyway, since the game is supposed to be out on 19th of June,
Alright.
and that's pretty much the midsummer thing going on here. So won't be playing next Saturday unless something special happens. Oh, sorry to hear that, Alex. Was it an old dog? Hello, a blonde. I really am sorry about Alex. You know, those things really suck. They really hurt. I hope you're okay though, considering what is going on.
We need to find a way out of here.
No, man, don't be sorry about it. If we just stack shitty things like suffering inside us, it's gonna just make our life worse. So if you have a shitty feeling, don't be ashamed about to say it, you know. Life is
Jeez. Looks like
so
someone already caught
miserable.
those things and lost.
Better to say than to not say it, I think.
Doesn't matter. Grab the gear. We'll look for an exit.
I'm sorry for your mom then. You know, like I said in the last stream, I've lost 3 pets in 6 months.
Keep your eyes
So
open for anything you
I
can use.
definitely know how shitty it can feel.
See anything?
Yes, SK, definitely ready for that. So
So
I
what do
am
we do?
trying to get this game through actually, not to mention
ready.
the DLC episode which I never played on PS3. So I'm waiting that anxiously. Oh yeah, now I remember this part of the game. I remember this wave after wave enemies. Really. This really sucks. Sorry, gonna miss the chat a little bit because now I know there's a lot of combat.
Get ready.
But yeah, anyway, very much stoked about the part 2. So I'm just trying to get this game.
No!
And again I failed. Hello, casual observer.
Get ready.
Hello, GD Snuff. Yeah, them goddamn flickers. They're pain in the ass.
You hear that? They're on the roof.
I know.
Now I'm suddenly like missing all the controls because I've been playing some other game and I have zero idea what's going on.
We're doing fine, kid.
It doesn't feel like
They're
it.
not doing fine.
Stay focused. We'll make it. Here come more.
Any of
Is it lucky I'm gonna reply to a bit? It's a bit hectic here. I'm gonna miss some of the comments most likely. With the comments. Because of the... fucking clicker. Now this again. I just hate these kind of combats, you know, just you go through a lot of them and when you miserably fail, you just grind and rinse and repeat, and then you get bored and you start making mistakes because you get sloppy, because you get annoyed and shit like that. Yeah, that's already... Too bad I don't understand anything about those Russian letters, so to speak. Come on. I'm totally lacking my focus here. Maybe I just should focus on the questions rather than anything else. But it's kind of annoying when you're playing certain other game and then you're thinking for some other kind of type of game, and you're just missing the controls and you're making stupid mistakes. It's not supposed to be this hard, but I don't know. I know the band Chromax, but never actually listened to them. Actually, I don't have zero idea what kind of songs they're... Oh, now the bloater, motherfucker.
Fucking guy.
All the time in the world. No. A new attempt. I kill you with my bow and arrows, like the arrow from the DC comics. So fuck you, creature. You know where these bloaters are from? I can tell you. They are from McDonald's. That's why they don't give a damn. No idea about Morgul's new album, but I hope soon, because great band. So somebody was asking me about the soil work and other melodic stuff, because I have all the time in the world. I can pretty much now just reply to that question. Now he's a drunken McDonald's fan. Look at how this guy walks, you know? I've just ate a couple of beers and I ate a ton of McBurgers. Now it just vanished.
Hey, kid.
Yeah?
You know, I think we did it.
Like we killed all of them?
Oh, don't sound so disappointed.
More like
So there was some
disbelief.
question about soil work and melodic metal
Check the
bands and
bridge.
all that stuff, and I didn't have the time to reply. So what were you asking, people? Because I have no idea. I need some whiskey now. I seriously do. Well, burgers would be a great currency. I just happen to be a big burger fan, you know. It's not exactly my favorite food, but definitely on the better side. Are hot dogs a thing in Chicago then?
Listen,
I remember having
No infected.
and seeing a lot of
no infected.
hot dog stands in New York City as well as Washington D.C.
Let's head on back. Check on that buck of ours.
You know those casual $2 hot dogs with
You
mustard
handled yourself pretty nice back there.
and what have
Say
you,
we
ketchup.
Make a pretty good team.
Nothing special really. I gotta say I have
got
eaten
lucky.
better
Lucky?
hot dogs in
No. No such thing as
in
luck.
Denmark called Pilsen,
Now, you see,
something
I
like
believe
that. They have a thing
that
for hot
everything
dogs.
happens
And also in
for a
Finland,
reason.
you know, when those kind of American
Sure.
burger
I do.
joints and whatnot.
And I can prove it to you. Now, this winter, that's been especially cruel. A few weeks back,
Gotta say, soil
Sent a
work
group of
and
men
other
out
melodic metal bands
nearby
such as
town,
that, they were
look for
a
food.
big thing in early 2000. Yeah, I totally
Only a few
agree.
came back.
To be honest, I haven't seen soil work much on the
He
map
said that the others had been
in past
slaughtered.
maybe 10, 15, 20 years.
Crazy man. And get this, he's a crazy man traveling with a little girl. You see, everything happens for a reason. Don't get upset. It's not your fault. I'm just a kid. James,
Hello,
lower the
Rain
gun.
Brain.
No way, David. I'm not gonna let her go.
Lower the gun. I'll give her the medicine.
The others won't be happy about this.
Yeah, well, that's not your concern.
I remember at this point I was thinking that maybe the bearded guy wasn't the
Fuck out
bad
of the
guy.
way.
You won't survive
This game
long
is
out there.
full of twists and surprises.
I can't protect you.
Oh, thanks.
About meat eating, gotta say, because I'm doing powerlifting and going to the gym a lot, obviously been eating a lot of protein-based stuff, like, you know, lots of meat, obviously. But I've
Let's get out of here.
eaten less and less red meat and changed towards, you know, poultry, chicken that is, basically in Finland. And of course some vegan alternatives to meat. Because I try to
Come on.
think it's more good for nature, it's maybe good for body, and certain level of sustainability. But it's not like I'm gonna give up meat totally unless something really, really drastic happens. But I
Joel?
search for alternatives, and I think there are good alternatives out there.
I only managed to get a little
And
bit
I
of
think
food.
it's good to learn to take benefit of
To get
those
this.
alternatives to meat, both for health and nature. But it's not like I want to praise this thing. So, SK, is Skyrim good on Switch?
Here we go. Sorry. Hold on. That's it.
well, we are basically carnivores, so it's not like I'm gonna say don't do it. But
You're gonna make it.
I think because we're actually more omnivores than plain carnivores, there's nothing wrong with eating plant-based stuff, especially because it's good for health as well. Well, yeah, back in those days, nobody was living in places like Canada or Finland. It was way too cold, and you couldn't just get berries and shit like that.
He tracked me.
So, back in those old days, people basically lived, in
I'm
places
driving
like
away from here.
Mediterranean areas, Africa, and shit like that. So you have to take that into consideration when you're preaching about certain kind of ages and dietary choices. Well, in general, certain amount of fiber is kind of needed, and plants have those necessary vitamins and such. So, and there's a lot of proof actually that plant-based diet is good. But usually it means that people are lacking certain kind of amino acids and also lacking protein. So
What do they want from us?
So I would say it's good to have plant-based, but all in moderation. Eat meat, eat plants, what the fuck. I don't really think that's the truth. Incapable of digesting plants. Well, certain people definitely have gut problem with certain kind of carbs. It might be potatoes, it might be, wheat and stuff like that.
Oh man.
But like I said, I'm not here to praise about how people should eat. As long as you stay healthy and
I don't see her though.
stuff like that.
Right there, by the horse. You're gonna pay for this little brat.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about cat eating grandfather. I've had cats, but I wouldn't have problems eating cats, nor dogs, nor human, at least morally that is. I mean, if the taste is really disgusting, that might be a thing, but morally I don't have problems eating any kind of animals, including humans. All right, cool to know, SK. It's not like I'm gonna get Skyrim for my Nintendo Switch because I mean I found Skyrim quite boring on the long run, and I don't have any intention to replay it. I was just wondering because Switch is so different. I think it's a nice console, but I'm not gonna play Witcher or Skyrim on that. I actually had the Legend of Zelda, the Breath of the Wild, or whatever it's called, and I think it's pretty cool. Hey, do we have any Scots people online? I was just thinking because we have Irish people. Do we have Scottish people? SK, I fully agree. Dog, cat, snake, cow, it's all the same, really. Alright, time for some sneaky action. I've actually had a snake soup when I was in Vietnam a couple of years ago. It was funny to see a snake head in the soup. Snakes are cool though. The snake soup was pretty okay. No problem with that. But gotta say, eating a frog was kind of annoying. Because the frog has so much small bones. Didn't have a snake alcohol, gotta say. I would like to have that, but didn't have at the time. Okay, since you are half Scotch or whatever, what's the story with the Irn-Bru drink? I mean, I've tasted it and it tastes like quite good. Much like a liquid bubblegum of sorts, I guess. But what's the story with Irn-Bru? I was just wondering because I don't know. I was wondering if you know what's going on with the Irn-Bru. In case people don't know what I'm talking about, it's spelled Irnbru. Irn-Bru. It's a certain kind of orange soft drink. And I think it's Scotch or Scottish invention, I guess. Raspberry cider, that sounds so awesome. Is it good, Autumn Leaves? Nice to have you here, by the way. I'm stoked about, those raspberry sour beers, for instance. They're so fucking good. I mean, they're like really good. I could like drink dozens of them during a night. Yoker. Yoker sounds like a place for people who talk slowly. I'm Yoker. Okay, sweet ciders are not my thing. I want them dry because my humor is so fucking dry. I like my drinks as I like my humor, dry and bitter. Does that make sense to you? Well, that's a good explanation. European version of root beer. All right. I think root beer is, by the way, great. It was my soft drink, by default soft drink when I was doing my road trip in the United States. Yeah, dry cider. It's almost sometimes, if you drink really dry cider with kind of high alcohol, it's almost like white wine, to be honest. Just better. Yes, A&W root beer, fucking great. I sometimes, when I can find it here in Finland, I buy it. It's really great. There's something with their root beer taste that is really right up my alley. I don't know why, to be honest, but I mean, because it's kind of like having a Coke, but it's just better. There's something that, suits me. Never tried it with booze. Is it any good with booze? I mean, if you mix it with, I don't know, rum, vodka, or anything like that. Does it get dark in Finland these days? Nope. During midsummer, that is next week, in Lapland, northern part of Finland, it's 24, well, not 24/7, but the sun doesn't go down at all, you know? Yes, SK, kind of a vanilla tasting with the root beer. That's why I like it. Vanilla Coke is pretty goddamn good too.
Okay. Where do I go?
Oh, that comment about Irn-Bru went so quickly because this chat was scrolling. Finland government run by teenager girls or something? No, well, not really. But yeah, they're relatively young. I guess the youngest government we've had in ages, 30-something. Oh, thanks for info, GenXL. I didn't know it was all Scotch based. But because the chat was scrolling so quickly, I couldn't really see all the stuff about Irn-Bru. Yeah, they are rather hot. I think our prime minister is a very good looking lady. Dividing a lot of people's opinion. I mean, if you are far right or something like that, you're gonna hate those chicks. If you are from the left or liberal any other way, you're gonna love them. That's what I've gathered.
Anything over there? Hello? Hey, man. Fuck me, man!
Right in the face with an arrow. Well, politicians are rarely sexy, but Alex, do Google Finnish Prime Minister. And SK, I don't know if it's that simple, really. In Finnish, the politics is not that black and white with, lefts and rights. Finnish is not that black and white as, say, America. Cherry is good fun. Well, first time for everything. I mean, nobody ever said that before. I guess my humor is just a bit off for some people. But that's kind of a given. It's not like Finnish humor is for everybody, and that to be added to the fact that I'm not even typical Finnish people.
Nature
Person.
track. Okay, that should get me out of here.
From baby boomers to the millennials. Well, almost. Yeah, SK, I said it. She's pretty cute indeed. I mean, not like porn star hot, I guess, but you know, like the girl
Oh shit.
next door, kind of a hot you would ask for a date. Cosmic, what do you mean would make a sexy corpse? She's a sexy corpse without being sexy. Previous marriages. SK, yeah, I mean, usually politicians have kind of a traditional looks. There's this one kind of a comedy called Politician, or I don't know if it's a secretary to politician in Finland. She used to be this anarcho female biatch, and now she's sort of a secretary or whatever to a capitalist right political party. So sometimes people can go that far, and I think she's pretty cute too. But yeah, anyway, here it is, 24 daylight. It's actually in about
This damn thing is bothering me.
5, 6 days, I guess. And even if it's like around 1 o'clock at the moment, it's pretty much light outside. And by the time I'm done with the stream, push it, Ellie. By the time I'm done with the stream, it's already actually
Jeez, I got this.
quite much daylight. So it's gonna be fun to get to the sleep. I can tell you my favorite black metal, or well, my favorite metal release, my favorite release this year, it's Yoth. How to say it? Yoth Iria.
This way back. Hang in there, Joel.
My review won't be out for a few days yet, but man, it's good. SK, have you heard Hex Enu or Cryptomog this year? Because I think Vercure and True Werewolf are good, but I think Cryptomog and Hex Enu albums, they kick their ass. Yes, Hex Enu is one of the best albums this year.
Coward.
And another arrow straight into the face. Cryptomog album isn't available there. Where are you from then? Will I do a cappella? Fuck no. You have to pay me millions to do that. Oh, sorry to hear that, SK. I wonder where are all those CDs, because I sent them like months ago. Yeah, I didn't know that you were the same guy until you said that you didn't get the CDs. That's when I got it. It's really great to have you here because you're one of the active ones and you're a great supporter on the channel. I really can't thank you enough for that stuff because it helps a lot. I guess I've said it many times before, but like always, now that there's a reason to mention this Patreon thing, because SK is one of the patrons for the channel. I think transparency is the shit, and the money that people are sending now to my Patreon account is going to be used for the tickets to get to or maybe traveling expenses is the proper way. So I hope that we can go to Darkness Guides Us festival this year, and that money will be used for traveling expenses, so that I could do some interviews there in Scotland next November, assuming flights are still okay and eligible. What do I think about the golden one on YouTube? I gotta say, I don't know what the golden one is. And GD Snuff also, thank you for being a patron for the channel. The money will be shared among me and the camera crew. I don't know if there will be 1 or 2 persons, but it will be used anyway on traveling expenses. So that's how I can justify them coming with me to Scotland. I mean, yeah, they're of course interested to come, but since everybody has to pay their own bills, this will help a lot. Thank you, SK. It means a lot to hear that.
How do I get out of here?
Thank you, Alex. Also. What golden shower guy did to piss off Wog? Today was, by the way, an interesting day because when I was driving to the gym, I actually listened myself talking on a video. I don't usually listen to my own rambles, but this time I kind of had to because I am preparing to do the NSPM video part 2, and I kind of had to listen to my own talk so I don't repeat the same stuff all over again. Gotta say, I don't know what this golden one thing is, so feel free to enlighten me, because it's not like I'm gonna start googling in the middle of gaming. Would be a very boring stream. Well, GD Snuff, have you watched the first part of NSPM video, which is more about how things are different nowadays versus what they used to be?
Where's the way out?
Gen X, that would be cool. Yeah, I'm planning to come to Darkness Guides Us this year as well. I was there last November, and Scotland was treating me nicely. Classical music is the music for old people. Next. Right-wing internet scholar who thinks you shouldn't whack off to porn. Well, I think that's a moral bullshit. I think people should whack off to porn rather than not whack off. Because usually those people who have sexual pressure, who can't get their nuts empty, they are whack jobs. GD Snuff, no, the NSPM video is from this spring. Maybe February or March. I really don't remember the exact date. Yes, Cosmic, that's the proper way to think. What is better, NSPM or BDSM? Well, two different genres with two very little different topics about lyrics. I would pick up BDSM anytime over NSPM. It doesn't matter what the lyrics are because I like depressive, suicidal, black metal stuff. I mean, it's dark. When the music is so fucking depressive and dark and sinister and all that stuff, I enjoy it. And I'm not talking about disaster level of kind of depressive stuff. I'm talking about the really dark stuff, like early Shining, pretty much. Scotland and Ireland both are really cool. Oh, PDS. Oh, sorry. Oh, you mean like bondage, domination, sadomasochism, that kind of stuff? Metal stuff is a little dated. Yeah, of course it's dated. Yeah. Stan, I used to date a girl who wanted to bondage stuff. I sucked at that. Doing that tying stuff with the ropes and shit. Yeah, I guess I misread because, well, I am after all gaming. But Stan, that was a good question anyway. I would definitely pick this bondage, sadomasochism, domination shit before NSPM. But that's just me, you know.
Cover me. I'm moving on.
I'm going over this way. Check down there.
Fucker.
Another fucker. Young girl cursing like that. I gotta say, I probably rather enjoy the whipping versus getting whipped. You know, I mean, I don't mind kinky stuff, but really, I don't get too much out of it being, cause pain to my genitals or whatever. Nor I do like to strangle people or whatever. But if there is a kinky stuff for me, well, it's group thingies, gang banging. That would be my thing, Ménage à trois. But I don't need to dominate. I mean, if a girl wants me to tie her up so I can fuck her, yeah, sure, why not? But it's not like I get kicks out of it banging somebody who isn't tied. That's a very good way to put it, Stan. Yeah, that's true. I guess I'm more like kinky. I don't like to go filthy in the way that I would toss shit on people or take a golden shower with somebody. But then again, I don't mind if people do that. I'm kind of a morally pretty okay with that. So yeah, if people get their kicks out of being pissed at or shat at, why the fuck not? I mean, your own body. You can do what the fuck you want with it. Yeah, it's not like NSBM is not musically necessarily bad, but too many bands of them are like bad punk bands. Or in absurd case, it's sometimes, for example, it's too melodic. For my taste, or wrong kind of melodies. And yeah, I don't the Western noir stuff I've heard is not for me. I saw them play live at Steelfest in Finland a couple of years ago. A kind of a headliner wasn't my thing really. That's kind of a too folky, weird ass stuff. This guy is all about death metal. Chopping up the corpses. Remove them limb from limb.
How are you feeling?
How are you feeling?
Super.
Want to have a finger for
Yeah.
a snack?
You should eat. I know you're hungry. You've been out for quite some time.
What is it?
It's deer.
With some human helping on the side?
No. No, I promise. It's
You mean my sucky death metal vocalist sounded like Mortician?
Fucking animal.
awfully quick to judgment. Considering you and your
I really
friend
can't do
killed
death metal vocals.
how
I mean,
many
I can
men?
do black metal vocals, and I guess
They didn't
to
give
some
us a choice.
some
And you
degree I
think
can
we have
do
a choice?
clean vocals, but no, I really can't. Not without proper training once again.
You
do
kill
death metal
to
vocals.
survive. And so do we. We have to take care of our own, by any means necessary.
So now what? You gonna chop me up into tiny pieces?
I'd rather not.
It's tiny pieces.
Please tell me your name.
You're so full of shit.
On the contrary, I've been quite honest with you. Now I think it's your turn. It's the only way I'm going to be able to convince the others
Convince them of what?
that you can come around. You have heart. You're loyal. And you're special.
Oh.
Pestle Noir is an interesting thing because it's definitely been appealing to people on the right wing.
You stupid little girl. You are making it very difficult to keep you alive. What am I supposed to tell the others now?
Ellie,
What?
tell them that Ellie is the little girl that broke your fucking finger!
How did you put it?
People should use more video game samples
Tiny pieces.
in the albums.
See you in the morning, Ellie.
Ellie. Ellie?
Temporary in which way? Stan, what do you mean? Why CDs and not vinyl? Or maybe SK actually answered Stan. Jerry, why CDs and not vinyl? And SK said, because you're a poser. Oh, Stan, it's because what the labels and bands send me. And most send me CDs, not LPs. But some labels do send me LPs. For example, Amor Fati Productions just sent me the Third Eye Rapists and Acolyth LPs. Like the Hexanu was also from Amor Fati, that was also LP. So yeah, I feature LPs when they are sent to me. And for example, that Yoth Iria, that was sent to me as CD and tape. So I feature whatever format on my Instagram and on the videos which is sent to me. Yeah, I know the name Third Eye Rapists is one peculiar name for a metal band, but I like the digital promo, so I requested a physical copy. And yes, I like to think that CDs are underrated. I mean, they are useful, they are more handy than LPs. They might not look as good as vinyl, but CDs are something that you can take in your car. The sound quality is good. They last long, you know. Max Master, what do you mean that I take some stuff from some labels? Yes, SK, I was just joking. That's what I was asking, like, what did he mean by saying music is temporary? Like, what's going on with that? Yeah, I like CDs and vinyl. I don't like tapes much, and that's why I don't have a tape player anymore. I hate the rewinding and fast forwarding and trying to find the proper song. Not that I really listen to individual songs, but I hate it. Max, yes, there is a way to get a demo here. Some bands send a CDR, some bands send a tape, but digital only demos, nah, not really. There's nothing to show on the video, and it would be kind of a slippery slope if I started to accepting digital files because I already have like 170 CDs, tapes, and vinyl in my queue. So if I started to accepting digital files, also I would be opening the floodgates. You can send me a tape for a review. In that case, I just need some files or Bandcamp link. I mean, I have reviewed tapes on the channel. SK, I would have to take a look at my list, the queue list, to see where the Crota is. And in a way, yeah, music is kind of temporary in that way. Ugly but butch bitch Abby kills Joel in Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 more like mental illness. Okay, that's an interesting thing. There is a Finnish assault rifle, but it's not called AK. It's actually RK-62 or something like that. I don't know if there's a more modern version, but it's a sort of a version of AK-47 in a way. It's a kind of a like a, how to say it? It's originated in AK-47. Yeah, an AK variant, yeah. Gotta say, it felt rather good to use in the army. But then again, I really don't know shit about rifles. Oh, the motherfucker is there. Gotta say, I would like to try out some AR-15 someday, but it's not like in Finland you just get those assault rifles. Cosmic sounds like a Fox Mulder from X-Files. Do you guys remember X-Files? Cool. SK? Alex, no, we don't have gun. Gun regulation is very, very... very rare here. I mean, you have to be a kind of a hunter or maybe a policeman or whatever to have your own gun. And yeah, Cosmic, I remember X-Files. I was a big fan of Fox Mulder.
He's up there! There he is!
fuck those guys are running. I gotta say, X-Files was a cool series back in the days. But the thing is, it was way too much a kind of an episode-based series for my taste on the long run. I mean, I like the long-running plots versus the but X-Files was good back in the days. You know, the funny thing is, when my band Nightside, back in the 90s, we were doing our demo at Tico Tico Studios in Kemi, Finland, northern part of Finland. It was the same studio where Impel Nazarene did their early recordings. We were there hanging out at the hostel, and there was X-Files on TV. And I think actually that our album name, I mean, not album name, but the one of the tracks, Ad Noctum, I think it was inspired by X-Files. You know, there was a episode with the thing called Ad Noctum, Into Darkness. I had no idea how Impel Nazarene used farm animal recordings. And yeah, Breaking Bad is really good TV series. I actually watched The Sopranos for the second time. Just finished it this week. The missus hadn't seen it.
Gotcha, asshole. Finish him off. Hold him still. Oh, shit.
Kick into the groins. That works most of the time. I'm gonna fuck you up.
What the?
So pornos, that sounds good. At least if you have the meadow soporno.
The girl. Is she alive?
What girl? I don't know no girl.
Sometimes those porno
Focus right here. Right here.
variations, parodies, they are really creative with their
The
names.
girl.
She's alive. She's David's newest pet.
Where?
In the town. In the town.
Now you're gonna mark it on the map. And it better be the same exact spot your buddy points to. Mark it.
It's right there. You can verify it. Go ask him. Go on. I tell you, I ain't lying. I ain't. Fuck you, man. He told you what you wanted. I ain't telling you shit.
That's all right. I believe him.
No, wait!
That's some badass activity.
Come on.
Let's go!
Remember that torture scene in GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 5. Some people thought it was too much.
I'm infected! I'm infected!
Really?
So are you. Right there. Roll up my sleeve. Look at it!
I'll play along.
What'd you say? Everything happens for a reason, right?
What the hell is that?
She would have turned by now. It can't be real.
Looks pretty fucking real to me.
Murdered pork. Oh, GTA. Well, it doesn't appeal to everybody, but for me, GTA 5 is one of my top 3 games of all times. It's fucking supreme. So much fun. And now I think we're reaching the one of the so-called boss battles in this game, if you can consider them as such. I remember hating that particular part. This would make a nice screen cap to take a fake Jordan Peterson on a Rauta stream. Well, Witcher 3 might be one of my favorite games if I had the actual time to actually play it. It still is in my to-do list. But now I'm trying to get this done and then proceed to The Last of Us 2. Actually started Assassin's Creed Unity not too long time ago. That is last week. My favorite 3 games would be World of Warcraft. So many good memories with my friends. And also Red Dead Redemption 2. Really, really great. Really cinematic game. And, well, GTA 5. There you have it. And Cyberpunk really looks fantastic. So, of these current generation games, I want to play Witcher 3 for sure. That's pretty much the only one I need to play from this generation. But obviously there are lots of games which I want to finish still.
Whoa!
Oh, shoot me in the face. Step, motherfucker!
I die!
Well, I think one of the best things is that Arthur Morgan dies. The combat didn't bother me, but I get it. So many people were disappointed it because of the controls and whatever. But I think it kind of was clear that Arthur was going to die. Because after all, the main character in first Red Dead Redemption also died. So it was kind of a given. And I think it made great drama. Arthur Morgan is one of the most lovable character in video games.
I'm gonna kill you.
And then I die again. Fuck me in this scene. I remember I was rushing way too quickly, something like that. And I died back then as well. So it seems I'm repeating myself here again and again.
this for months. Let's clean this mess up, then we can have a town meeting. Put its leadership up to a vote.
Do you mean the fight after this one? I think it was fucking annoying. Eye of the tiger. Oh fuck. I think I'm just gonna start drinking whiskey a lot more.
I've been saying this for months. Let's clean this mess up, then we can have a town meeting. Put his leadership up to a vote.
That sounds like a drink. Irish car bomb. That sounds like, by the way, kind of like a Cannibal Corpse song. I like when she hacks him up.
I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill you first. Yeah, I think I have had those car bomb kind of a type of beers. Any statues in Finland that we need to pull down? I don't think so. We really don't have statues of dictators or priests. I remember that Belfast was really dry, kind of a boring place. Cosmic, what won't matter? Your dick or your face or your thoughts? Because we all know that nothing really matters. Right? What is this statue thing? I mean, we don't have any important statues to be pulled down. Yeah. This is just like, oh, it's Christmas! Bring up the pies! We don't really have Christmas pies. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, there is certain Finnish feeling to this. fuck you with your gun. Yeah, it's like being Lapland, but too many buildings. Oh shit, there's this guy. Give me equipment, please. Well, yeah, Lemmy is a quite good example if there are people who deserve a statue. As much as it's nice to say, yeah, Gordon, but then again, he isn't that famous really. And we all know that fame is everything when you are about or not about to get a statue. And yeah, Chuck definitely. Once again, not known enough.
Holy shit!
Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me! Vicious little girl.
There you are!
What the fuck is this guy doing? He's gonna die. You knew the answer, you just didn't say it.
This place is a damn maze.
And the girl said it. This is a maze, and maze levels are rather annoying. Yikes! Yikes! Part 2. Give me fucking bullets.
I don't want to give you any bullets.
Talking about bullets, you know what I've been watching along with the Sopranos? The Vietnam War documentary on Netflix. Actually, originally watched it like a year or two ago on Finnish television, or their Finnish television, national television streaming service, and now I started the rerun because the Netflix version is lengthier. It's basically bigger version, and man, it's so goddamn good documentary series. I mean, there is something in Vietnam War, particularly when we're talking about wars, that intrigues me so goddamn much. Maybe because that war didn't really make so much sense, and it's so goddamn good documentary. Yeah, Ozark is one that I am supposed to watch at some point, but hadn't really had the time. I'm watching Black Mirror and Vietnam War right now, and with the missus, I started the great show called The Great. SK, sorry, what the show? You mean about the Vietnam War? Are you asking that name?
Here I go.
It's just called the Vietnam War. It's like each episode is like, I don't know, about 90 minutes or so, and it's like 10 episodes, something like that. So it's more like a series of movies, really. It's really great because they interview both Vietnamese and American people. You know, they are people from CIA, Pentagon, Viet Minh, Viet Cong. Yeah, it's Netflix series. Really, really great. It kind of underlines how brutal the whole Vietnam War was. And it also underlines how stupid political decisions were made in order that war to happen. I mean, from Kennedy to Nixon, other presidents. Really, really good. And about Winter War, I don't know if there are any good docs on that. But if you get to see the Unknown Soldier movie or TV series, it's on Finnish HBO, but I doubt it's on American HBO. Well, give it a watch. Unknown Soldier is one of the best Finnish war movies, and it's been remade 2 times after that. And it's good stuff, all versions. The latest is also as a TV series version. But like I said, it's not likely to be on American HBO. But if you can take a look at the HBO Nordic, which is the Nordic HBO, there you will find Unknown Soldier. And of course you can pretty much torrent it, or I don't know, rent it, buy it, whatever. It gives you a good insight about Finnish mentality and Finnish experience in with the Russians. So it's an interesting show. Sleepwalker. Doesn't ring a bell, I have to admit. I'm just like, where am I supposed to go? No place to go. I'm just a hoe.
Here we go.
Oh yeah. And here we have a window. Window of opportunity. Sounds interesting, but gotta say, oh, now is the fucking bar fight. Boring. I remember it being really, really boring. But I guess I have to just go with it in order to progress with the game. I remember this part being like really annoying. No, I really don't like Peste Noir. Nothing against the band as such, but not my cup of tea musically anyway. Night, Alex. See you later and take care of yourself and enjoy your good Irish whiskey. Irish. Where is the boss? Where are you? Come find me. Yeah, I don't know when they keep asking me like Peste Noir. Also, when people usually ask me about interviews, it's usually the same interviews over and over again. Like, when is the Goat Moon interview happening?
Want out? Let's come get these keys.
No, you're not infected. No one that's infected fights this hard to stay alive.
That a girl.
Now let's rinse and repeat this.
That was good, kid.
It's gonna be all right.
But I guess Peste Noir is so much on the map that it gets...
You know, you keep surprising me. There
That's
you
why...
are.
That's why people ask about it. Run, 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 little rabbit.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's so goddamn hot inside here. Doesn't really help if I open the door. It seems like I'm kind of sweating here.
Just keep searching. Come through here, we gotta get them.
We should be guarding the shelter. We got an infection running around the town, and we're guarding the damn exit.
Look, the kid is deadly. We don't know what's turn up next. Keep your eyes and ears open. Son of a bitch! Cover me, I'm moving up!
Why is it any good? This is how it feels to chop a guy
With an axe.
Everything's cool, man.
Everything's cool, man. Yeah. No, it's not cool, man. Not for you. Well, doesn't sound too bad then. Dead asshole. What a threat. Sometimes it seems like YouTube censors some of the comments, as you probably know. There was a funny thing which I saw as a comment, but couldn't see it as a comment under the video, but I got notification. There was somebody saying something about the Blood Chalice video with me and the vocalist and the guitar player of the band, like something like a bunch of ball fags. And I had the urge to say, takes one to know one, but I couldn't because the comment wasn't there under the video. Oh, SK, I think you mentioned that earlier. That comment, by the way, kind of got cut off. Cosmic, which one sounds like weakness? That reply of mine, or the original comment by the guy? Gotta say, I haven't watched new Peste Noir video, but then again, I'm not really into the band, and I don't really much watch many videos. Yeah, Cosmic, you mean the one with the bald fags? Peste Noir, no, is that a new band? It sounds like that band has a typo in its name. It's Peste Noir, without any of those E's. So I'm not gonna check out the band with two typos with your name. Yes, Gal was there with his band. Supporting Mayhem. And while I was waiting for the Mayhem interview, I spotted Gal ready to grab some food, you know, on the backstage. And I just basically pulled him by the sleeve and said something like, "Hey man, would you do an interview even though we haven't set it up prior to meeting or anything like that. And it was like, yeah, cool, we can do it after the food, before the sound check. But then because Attila of Mayhem was on the phone way too long. I mean, our interview slot was delayed like 30 minutes. And because of that, when I got out doing the Mayhem interview, which was over 30 minutes, Carl had already gone to the sound check and all. So basically, thanks to Attila being on the phone for so goddamn long time, I couldn't do Carl's third interview. Basically, I mean, Attila was just, on a phone for a long time. I don't know what the fuck he was babbling, and none of my business.
There's all this stuff here.
But that's kind of sucks because instead of getting only Mayhem interview, I had the possibility to do two. And if I had known that Attila would take some 30 minutes to finish his phone call, I could have done the Gall interview while waiting for him. But artists are peculiar motherfuckers, so little do you know.
Oh, Christ. I gotta find her.
But at least he didn't have any problem doing a video interview, so maybe next time I get to see the guy, maybe next time it will happen, I don't know. Actually, when last time they played at Steel Fest, was it 2019 or 2018?
Ellie.
My friend tried to set me up with the Carlsford interview through their sound manager guy, but I don't think the message got through, and as such, Carl interview didn't happen. Yeah, I should have brought the wine with my asshole, and then it probably would have happened. If I had promised him a blowjob, maybe it would have happened. Who knows? Blowjobs usually help a lot. How do you know if he likes actually young boys? Maybe he's into elder guys. Maybe you have a story to tell. Oh, just kidding. This sound almost sounds like a porno movie. This heavy breathing,
I knew you had heart. It's okay to give up.
Yeah, and I have a photo in my personal collection somewhere, which is taken at Wacken Festival 2008 or something, when Gall still had his cute younger boyfriend with some In Flames shirt. Alright, Sigurd, catch you later. Good night, or good day, afternoon, whatever it is.
I guess not. Just not your style, is it? You can try begging.
Fuck you.
You think you know me?
Hello, Aske.
Let me tell you something.
Nice to have you here. We're just talking about Gall and his boyfriends. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this cute boyfriend back then had In Flames shirt and a kind of a front long hair. Didn't seem to fit Wacken Festival, you know?
It's me. Look.
You know, where Gall is a very grim looking guy and a great frontman, in my opinion. Looking grim, and he's a tall guy. He looks like you don't fuck with him. His boyfriend was this kind of a cute guy, you know? Young, pretty, and cute. So it's pretty much the same thing if I had this, like a cute young girl with me. It would look fucking peculiar. I'm sure if there was Rauta groupies, they would be old hags. Thoughts about Tenhi? Well, it's an interesting, beautiful, folkish music.
Ellie!
Not too much related
Ellie!
to metal, but I gotta say it
Did you
has
hear
been
me?
over
No.
15
What?
years maybe.
Look.
The last time I
Hospital.
heard Tenhi.
This is where we get off. Let's go, kiddo. You feel that breeze, huh?
But I think
Tell you, on a
if
day like this,
one
I can
is
sit on my
into
porch, pick away my six string.
more
Now, once we're
beautiful
done
and
with this whole
soothing
thing, I'm gonna teach
type
you how
of
to play the
music,
guitar.
then
I reckon you'd
Tenhi
really like
is
that.
definitely worth checking out.
What do you say, huh?
Say I don't even remember which albums I've heard by Tenhi. So I don't really have favorites. They're not really my cup of tea. I mean, nothing bad, but not really the type of stuff I listen to. So I don't have a favorite Tenhi album. I don't have a single Tenhi album in my personal collection.
I dreamt about flying the other night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, glad you like this Logmark album. I think it's really good.
It was a stupid dream.
So I wasn't praising that for nothing, in case you happen to like it. It is just so funny that there is a Norwegian band with the very same name, which is also a lot older
Another city,
than this
another abandoned
German
quarantine.
Slagmark. So I don't know why these guys didn't take a look at metal archives before choosing the name. Well, to be honest, I don't know. I would imagine that
There's that hospital the Firefly mentioned.
period through fire has some distribution in the United States. I would imagine so anyway. But like I said, can't really be sure. One thing which I really like about this kind of dystopia games is that the nature always looks kind of a goddamn nice. I mean, all throughout these buildings you get to see this
Maybe we cut through
foliage, plants, different kind of stuff growing. The same thing is very much present with the Death Stranding, which I didn't stream because I didn't stream back in the days. Alright, too bad to hear if those distributions don't take it or have it. I would just have imagined like something like Nuclear War Now or Hell's Headbangers or some other bigger underground black metal distributions would have had it. But like I said, I really don't know those US distros that well, so I'm just, guessing. Make the jump. No. Oh, okay, that's weird. Yeah, Germans are known for their effectiveness.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You just kind of seem extra quiet today.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not.
You guys have been very talkative today. It's almost like 400 comments in 2 hours. And yet it shows only like, 6 people online. So very few dedicated ones having to talk with me. To be honest, I don't know how it will be when the Last of Us 2 comes out, because I'm not sure if I can
that ladder.
really focus so much on the talk when the game is
Here we go.
new. And I want to focus on the dialogue and stuff like that.
Ellie. Ellie.
What?
The ladder. Come on.
Right.
That's a good question, Aske. Because I actually listened to a little bit of rap music during my teenager years. I was all about gangster rap. I don't know many of those names, but I was curious enough, hip hop enough to watch the Hip Hop Evolution documentary series on Netflix, those 4 seasons. Because I really like when bands like NWA and Public Enemy made their stuff.
Oh my God.
So much attitude and all, violent
Ellie.
stuff,
Ellie.
aggressive, really good stuff. And Jouni, since you ask, The Last of Us 2 is out next week during Finnish Juhannus, midsummer.
You gotta see this.
I hope to get
What is
my
it?
download copy as soon as possible. Now I think I will see giraffes. That's how I remember was taking. I remember this being a really beautiful scene in the game. Yeah, Joni, it's a bad timing for Finnish people. We're gonna get barbecuing, drunk, and whatever, not playing games. So Juhannus or Midsummer is bad timing for releasing such a AAA title. Big game just in fucking Juhannus. It's basically as
Hurry up.
releasing a game
Sam Hill.
during Christmas. Even though Christmas would be better because people are not going out so much, but rather, have time to stay inside. But in the middle of summer, weird.
What are you doing?
It's all right.
Yeah, Cypress Hill's Wu-Tang Clan, NWA, those kind of names are good for rap music. They have the kind of a badass street mentality.
So fucking cool.
And I think sometimes those old school gangster rap bands are way more badass than so many metal bands.
Here, come on.
But obviously metal bands
slow down,
or metal
kiddo.
people don't want to hear it. Because they think that metal is so cool and grim and precious. But let's be honest about it. Very many of those old school rap bands, they had it so much harder, and they went to kind of a more brutal school than most metalheads. So my kudos to the bands and artists who had to grow up with the street mentality. It doesn't matter what we think about the music, but there's definitely more street credibility with the rap music than with so many metalheads. And about giraffes, when I was in Vietnam with my family, and we actually got to feed giraffes there at a cafe. There was a kind of a burger joint where you could just feed giraffes with, pieces of carrot, bananas, stuff like that. And man, those animals have long tongues, and they just grab that carrots and apples or bananas, fruits, whatever shit you're giving them in a nice way. Really nice animals, at least that place had. Also fed some elephants. They are as cool as hell as well. But yeah, about rap music, I guess I cannot call myself a fan of rap music or anything like that, but yeah, I do like what those bands did back in the days, coming from the streets and doing their lyrics and stuff like that. And also so many rap artists, they had some good music with good lyrics as well. So not only good attitude, but also some great lyricists in the rap scene.
We don't have to do this.
So once again, it's one thing to
that, right?
dig some music, and another thing to respect, even if you don't like the music.
Be done with this whole damn thing.
After all we've been through. Everything that I've done.
Yeah, I know what every now and then I might have a feel to play some NWA track or some shit from YouTube. It's not like I have albums, hip-hop albums, but yeah, every now and then I might feel like throwing a curveball.
Look, I know you mean well, but there's no
Techno, well, that's a genre that never appealed to me.
Okay.
Well, I ain't leaving without you. So let's go wrap this up.
I never got to like those techno beats. And in general, I don't really like music that is kind of I wouldn't say as machine made, but the stuff that doesn't really sound like it's played by kind of a human in a way. Of course it takes a lot of skill to set up those techno beats and whatever. But there's still something different when you just create those loops and beats and whatever, and all they sound the same. Much like drum machine in metal music. When it lacks dynamics, then again, I don't have a problem with ambient. An ambient could very well be as much kind of a
This place takes me back.
machine made in so many ways. After all, it's samples, mixed, twist, looped, edited,
where you look,
and all that stuff.
Saw families torn apart. Whole damn world seemed to have turned upside down in a blink.
Was that after you lost Sarah?
Yes, it was.
I can't imagine losing someone you love like that. Losing everything that you know. I'm sorry, Joel.
That's okay, Ellie.
Hey, Joel. got something for you. Here. Maria showed this to me and I stole it. I hope you don't mind.
Well, no matter how hard you try, I guess you can't escape your past.
Yeah, I guess people just get bored of the gaming stream. They're like, okay, Jerry is talking about hip hop. Let's get off the train. Usually people just don't say anything when they just kind of get off the stream. And it's not like I'm gonna bitch about it. You know, people hold zero.
This time it's gonna be different. Just know it.
What do you mean?
They're gonna be
What do
there.
you mean?
The Fireflies. I'm sure of it.
Explanation. You know what's going on. I mean, if they're cool to say, okay, like I'm gonna go to work or sleep or whatever. I mean, it's cool to know. I like and I appreciate when people say that, but I mean, I don't mind. People can come and go as they please. And if I'm just alone here, then I will be just shutting my mouth, drinking whiskey. All right. Some motherfucking action time. We don't want to wake up the big guy. Right. Rauta stream drinking game. Well, that would be awesome. That would just require you to have those drinks. Like, every time I say whatnot, or every time I curse, you're about to have drinks. Or yeah, Peste Noir, that's and also a good excuse to take a drink. Maybe I should use that I wanted to use this goddamn flamethrower for a long time. No, but that motherfucker still is there.
Stay quiet.
Gotta say, take a shot whenever Jerry dies. That would be awesome. Because sometimes you would have to take a few shots in a quite a quick pace, but that would make it more awesome. And then sometimes you only take random ones. Yes, McDonald's in flames. You remember that McDonald's joke I made Good stuff. Because running jokes are the best. I kinda shouldn't waste my bullets on these motherfuckers, but I also want to. Because it's so much fun. Look at those. They just, you know, blow up so funnily. You know what, guys? I need to take a piss. It's not like I have too much whiskey here. By the way, I'm running low on the whiskey. But I need to take a leak. And the time is 2:25. Have at least an hour to go before I need to hit the sack. So, going to put the game on pause for a little bit. I need to take a piss. Back. Gotta say, it was weird to visit outside for a piss because those birds, they just have the crazy ass talk there, you know? They're just singing like crazy, and then you hear some ambient sounds of which I have no idea where they were coming from. Sounded kind of a creepy. Far away, but really didn't sound like it was a car, but just something else. And I was like, I have no fucking idea what that was, and I don't even want to know. Well, yes, I do, but still, it was weird. This is because this is countryside. You don't really hear car sounds going on, but it surely wasn't a plane. So I had no idea what the fuck is going on at like 2:30 in the middle of night. And yes, Cosmic, you're right. Whiskey is so goddamn great. I kind of feel guilty actually that I didn't enjoy that much whiskey when I was in Scotland. Darkness guides us. I mean, I'll tell you a story of blasphemy, and I don't mean the band right now. There was this thing, you know, at the club, at the venue where the gigs took place. So I wanted to have a glass of whiskey. First of all, only plastic cups were available, well, I can live with that. Because it's not like I care so much about the style of the cup, how my beverage is served. I mean, it's of course proper way to have a glass or something like. But I mean, I get it. You don't have to have those glasses when they are drunk metalheads and all that stuff. But the thing is that they really didn't have Scotch whiskey for sale there, at the venue. Instead, they had some, I don't know, some Jack Daniels or shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm in the whiskey fucking capital of the world, And there is no whiskey being sold. And I'm like, what the fuck? So as if this was like some legendary record store, known for its cult classic releases or whatever, and then all you could find was some mainstream shit. It was very upsetting, I don't usually bitch about if a pub doesn't have whiskey. I usually don't have my whiskeys in a bar. I mean, I usually drink whiskey at home and beers. Let's run. Well, I just got the And Ocean's review album last week, actually. No, sorry, this week. So that should give you a little bit of idea. Oh, so 2 fucking blob heads. That's some barbecue McDonald's there.
We killed him.
So yeah, I was actually giving up the idea that the Season of Mist was gonna send me And Oceans because, well, it seemed like nothing was gonna happen, and suddenly they sent me And Oceans and Hellfro album. I don't even remember if I had asked for that Hellfro album. I'm like, what the hell? If it's coming, cool, let's review it. And yeah, it came earlier this week, so it's quite up on the queue. But next week is already done, and at least a couple of days after that, so can't give you an exact date, just not yet anyway. But let's just say soonish. Should be before July, but not guaranteed. My review queue, if I count everything, it's about 170. Of that amount, 2020 releases are like less than 10.
Okay.
So most of the stuff is really a backlog stuff from 2019, 2018, stuff like that. I was just about to get under 160 actually earlier this week, and I was already telling my friend like, hey, I'm finally getting under 160, because when I saw him at Turku Saatanalle, he was like, you're never gonna get, through that queue because of, like constantly coming new albums. And like, yeah, but it's getting better. And then Corona came, and the queue was getting shorter because less albums were being sent.
You got it.
So it started to kind of catch up slowly but steadily. And then suddenly, like I said, I almost had it less than 160. And then one day I got like 11 more. So I was back to 170. Once again, I don't want to complain. This is a kind of a first world problem, and it's a happy thing. Happy problem, like we say in Finland. Like, when you have lots of interesting stuff. So it's not like I want to bitch about it, but
On the other side.
the thing is, it's hard to get all of them reviewed by. But like you probably seen lately, I've been doing quite a bit of backlog reviewing. So I've been reviewing albums from 2018 and stuff like that. And one band, Decregor to be precise, was actually wondering like why I was doing that 2018 album or 2017 album by them, and I was basically saying like, well, because
stick to the edge.
album
Shallow
was
over there.
just sent to me back then. So I'm going through these backlog stuff, and that's how it is. And yeah, to be honest, it's really hard to get a perfect system for album, bands and labels alike. Because if I take just first in, first out, then some of the newer ones would have to wait for a year. And it's not really fair. So usually older ones have to wait quite a bit. So I get the newer ones done, and then I can proceed to the older ones.
Get that door open.
But sometimes bands and labels send me years old stuff.
You okay?
Yeah. It just surprised me.
And that's the reason why I have so many backlog albums there. Because most of them are like years old. But like I said, new stuff always are brought to the top of the list. So if I get sent like 2020 stuff right now, it will take the top slot. Right. Like for example, the And Oceans one is among the top ones on the queue list for this very reason. Yeah, so it's always like that. Jouni, I hope to develop Rauta as well. Do you have any particular ideas? What do you mean? Like develop in which ways?
nicely.
Because I always try to come up with ideas that would make the channel more, say, enjoyable, more interesting. And that's one of the reasons why I started actually doing these
Watch your head.
game streams, are that I could actually do streams for people and as such to give people more interesting content. Because I'm anyways gaming, I could as well use this time to chat with people, you know? Talk with Rauta viewers, whether or not they're interested in gaming, because these, as you know, these chats have very little to do with the gaming only. They are more generic in nature. We talk about bands, we talk about music, we talk about, well, various things, as you have noticed. Mostly about bands and albums, artists. So that's why I wanted to do these streams, because I'm gaming and I can pretty much like dedicate one gaming evening a week to these kind of chats. And I think it's nice for those like you who are into talking about metal and maybe who are also into gaming as well. Yeah, well, I hate to bring the money into question, but yeah, definitely some events, for example, traveling and getting more interviews done, that is tied to money. Because I mean, if it was up to me, if like bands were coming to me all the time, like there would be interviews almost daily. I could do less reviews and more interviews. But the fact is, if I want to get interviews done, I have to travel to, events, fests and gigs. So, for example, in that respect, getting more interviews done, it takes actually both money and time. So yeah. Yeah, I guess background music would be okay, but I mean the ones that are copyright free, they are not maybe very suitable for Rauta, and the ones that are not copyright free might mean that the channel gets copyright violations, which then again cause more harm than cause any good, you know? Well, technically, Rauta is just me, but with the interviews, obviously, things are like more, not more complicated, but I have basically, depending how you want to count it, I have like 2 or 3 uh, camera crew people. One also edits these interview videos, and that's why they look so much better than my normal review videos. And so basically, yeah, we have like we are like 2 or 3 camera crew and then me. And normal days, that is, everything apart from interviews are done just by me. So technically speaking, 99% what you see on Rauta channel is just me. But with interviews, there's like 1 to 3 other people involved, depending once again with which kind of event we are talking about, which interviews we're talking about. Yeah, Cosmic, I remember it's based on Archspire, the Canadian death metal band, creating that noise, but I don't know how enjoyable that would be as a background music.
You made it.
I think most people would be upset, because after all, as sad as it is, most Rauta people are not into death metal. So it seems like more and more Rauta viewers are about black metal, and they are not so cool with death metal or thrash metal.
You know.
Okay. Okay, there. I'm on it.
Archfire actually has some pretty
Be
cool
careful.
songs, in my opinion.
I got you.
I mean, they do have cool patterns with their songs. But I get your point, though. I mean, even if you were not sarcastic, it could be seen as like, yeah, these guys are not playing that music like that. But their music is way better than what these
I ain't making that joke.
Hey, come on now. Joel, don't be a dick.
Stand back.
So their music is way better than what this AI stuff gives them credit. Best death metal is the Sentenced debut. Well, in my opinion, best death metal band from Finland is Torture Killer, and followed by
Damn ladder
Morbid
broke off the
Vomit.
wall.
Now what?
I'll figure something out.
Is that gonna work?
Of course, you should check bands like Abhorrence and
Too far. I can't reach it.
Torture Killer. I mean, they have good groove with their music. It's kind of old school at the same time as it is, you know. Well, they have really solid riffs. Good lead guitars, good melodic guitars, good basic riffing, very good vocals, good production. Yeah, Chris Barnes was only with one album. And to be honest, Chris Barnes isn't the best vocalist that Torture Killer has used. But I think Torture Killer is really solid band. But of course, like they said, there are bands such as old Amorphis, you know, before they started to do some more melodic metal. Early Amorphis is pretty good death metal from Finland. Then pre-Amorphis, which is once again Abhorrence. And then you have bands like Olxisma, you have Pertinence, and the band that I don't really like, Lubricant. Lots of old school Finnish death metal names. Chris Barnes was in a commercial for local car dealers. Now that's an interesting thing. Yeah, Tales from the Thousand Lakes is a classic. It's a Finnish death metal classic for sure.
Oh boy.
Let me go ahead.
Yeah,
You
it's
follow
not a
my
classic death metal
Hey,
in
right behind you.
many ways. That's when they started to create their own sound. And I think Amorphis could have totally have pioneered that sound for even more.
Okay, come on, jump.
You're gonna catch
Had
me?
they not changed, that is.
See? You didn't even need me.
Let's get the hell off this thing.
Oh, EB, that's a lot. 7 or 8 times. Well, I'm sure you're gonna like the sequel as well, because I think Naughty Dog is such a good game studio that they don't betray their fans. I mean, all the Uncharted games and this game, so goddamn good. I don't think they're gonna fail. Personally, I believe that sequel will be maybe even better. Yeah, Uncharted games, all of them are good. Even though I still think that The Last of Us is the best Naughty Dog game so far. But this is so better because this is so much darker, and the character story, the story arc, is so much deeper than with Uncharted games, which are more about this kind of a Indiana Jones humor and all that stuff. Gotta say, I never played any Uncharted as multiplayer. I've just enjoyed all the stories. I played them in a curious order though, like 2, 3, 4, and the 4 spin-off, and then number 1, which you witnessed not too many weeks ago.
She's not breathing.
Hands in the fucking air!
Come on.
If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm missing it, but we're very close to the end. Do I remember correctly?
Welcome to the Fireflies. Sorry about that. They didn't know who you were.
And Ellie?
She's all right. They brought her back. You came all this way. How'd you do it?
It was her.
Yes, EB, I think so. Even though I remember liking Uncharted 2 better than 3, but basically it was getting better.
Maybe it was meant to be.
Episode by episode. And now I'm running
lost most of my crew crossing the
out of whiskey. My bottle just
lost
got
everything.
finished. There's
And then
barely
you show
anything
up
in my
and somehow
glass.
we find you just in time to
Sniff.
save her. Maybe it was meant to be.
Take me to her.
You don't have to worry about her anymore. We'll take care
I
of her.
worry. Just let me see her, please.
You can't. She's being prepped for surgery.
Yeah, it's tragic.
The
For
doctors
next
tell me the cordyceps
gaming
that
stream
grows
sessions,
inside
I'm gonna
her is
have a new
somehow
bottle
mutated.
opened.
It's why she's immune. Once they remove it, they'll be able to reverse engineer a vaccine. A vaccine.
But it grows all over the brain.
It does.
Find someone else.
There is no one else.
Listen, you were gonna show me where she...
Stop. I get it. But whatever it is you think you're going through right now is nothing to what I have been through. I knew her since she was born. I promised her mother I would look after her.
Then why are you...
Yes, I need an
This
emergency
isn't about me.
supply.
Or even
Gotta
her.
say, man, I like your humor.
There
Your
is
style
no
is very
other
fitting
choice
for
here.
my style of humor. I think if we two would meet in a real life, we just get along very nicely with your AKs
March him
and
out of here.
my whiskeys.
He tries anything,
And,
shoot him.
of course, music taste.
Don't waste this gift, Joe.
Get up.
Luckily, I
get
think
up.
I have some good whiskeys in my bar cup board or whatever it's called.
Move. I said move.
I said
Give me an
move.
excuse.
I said fuck you.
Which way?
This kind of approves. The fireflies are dicks as well.
What the fuck you doing? Keep walking. I said keep walking.
Where was the operating room? I ain't got time for this.
Where?
Top floor, the far end.
Well, I think in general, these kind of revolutionary groups, they have kind of a lame name.
The smuggler, he's in here.
What?
Dead.
We got a man down. The smugglers escaped.
Locate the target and eliminate him. Search the
Is she really worth all this? Me!
Gotta say, I never played Socop game. I think I have one of them in my PlayStation 3, but I never played it. You know the classic, too many games, not enough time. That's why I actually have a Socom game shirt, which you might have seen in some of the videos. Now the funny anecdote with the And Oceans vocalist guy, because the Socom game t-shirt, you know, the front side has a kind of a dog tag logo, not logo, but you know, there's this drawn dog tag thing on the shirt. And so my friend was thinking that I had a dog tag around my neck, you know, the kind of army dog tag, and he was like, Jerry, it's so embarrassing you have this dog tag. And like, what the fuck are you babbling about? And he was referring to certain video, I don't remember anymore. Which one was it? Where I had this shirt, which has this dog tag thing drawn on my shirt, and I was like, dude, it's not a real necklace. It's not a real dog tag. It's just drawn on the shirt.
On the smuggler. You're gonna pay for that!
Well, that sounds like a good game. Well, I kinda briefly tried them back in the 90s, but I know Rainbow Six is very different from nowadays. It's multiplayer only. Ah, what a failure! Ah. So take a drink now. I've been actually tempted to. Oh fuck! This took me so much back. I feel like now just, you know, going crazy. I hate when the games toss so much background, so much back with all the activity, and you're like, oh shit, it's gonna take a lot of time. Just gonna boost it make this more of a running shooter because this is. Yeah, that's what you should do.
See him!
Yeah, you better. So what's the time over there? Like now? Yeah, definitely PS5 and Xbox. I'm not gonna just settle with one console. I mean, I'm a geek after all. I gotta have them both. 8 in the evening. Oh, it's later than I was expecting. So it's just perfect time to get some drinks then. How come I have the feeling this is very, very close to the end? I have a... I have this feeling that this hospital fight was very close to the end. I don't mind if you spoil that to me because after all this is not my... This is not my... first time I'm gaming it, so... I just rather want to know how late I'm gonna stay up tonight. Because it's already past 3. And you know, it's my parents are coming for a visit tomorrow and I really can't just, you know, sleep as late I want to be. Haven't seen them due to COVID for a few months now, so they want to pay a visit. Nah, it's not like I care about that really. Besides, I anyway ran out of whiskey. It's not like I could get drunk anyway. Not without opening a new bottle, which is in a separate building. Yeah, that's what I mean. I was figuring out like if I remember correctly, I'm very close to finishing the game. Then again, I do have the DLC, which is like 2 hours more, but I can finish it another day before the sequel is out. I really have a sort of recollection of the game. I mean this part as well. The fuck, I'm like just randomly going to the wrong direction all the time.
Yeah, that's it. I'm coming, Ellie.
Alright, let's do it. Plenty of them assholes.
Dan! Holy shit! Don't let him get to the kill!
Torch it, motherfucker! No, I just wanted to do some crazy ass action there.
You see that shit?
Let's try this approach because I want to. This is so cold. Warm welcome.
What you got? Nothing. What about you?
Come to the Sabbath. Come to the Sabbath. Satan's there. Come to the Sabbath. Come to the Sabbath. Satan's there. Two birds, one stone. You mean any cute zombie babies? That's good, Ryan.
That should buy me some time.
Oh, this is a good thing to mention that you do know the Finnish black metal band True Black Dawn and Enokia Crescent, right? Know those bands? Just nod if you do, and I have a story to tell. Well, not so much a story, but an anecdote. So, the vocalist guy, Wrath, he has actually set up his own...
What are you doing?
Well, True Black Dawn is roughly the same age, but basically was less active in the early years as Enokia Crescent. But since Enokia Crescent is no more, True Black Dawn is more active, and a new album coming out. They have members from Oceans and Phlegane and other Finnish black metal bands, Horna. Kind of a super group in a way, in the underground black metal. Anyway, the vocalist Wrath, both bands.
No!
He actually has his apartment more or less
Harry, shut the hell up.
set up as a kind of a hospital. So he has this kind of a hospital fetish of sorts. Just now got this game kind of reminded me of that. So he has a hospital bed in his living room or something. Yeah.
Come on,
I kid you not.
I got you.
Well, he's a kind of a weird guy. I mean, he's one of those kind of a weird guy, true artists. Has his own fetish stuff.
I'm getting you out of here, girl.
And now I remember this being very close to the very end.
Come on. Tell me which way. We're okay.
No niin, Nico.
I said get back! No, let go of her! Let go of her!
Gore, the vocalist of Enochian Crescent and True Black Dawn.
We're gonna get through this, okay? I got you. I got you.
I got him in my sight. I said get back!
Hello, Black Death.
We're gonna get through this.
Doesn't Werewolf have a thing for latex? I don't know if he has, but I know that Wrath has for stockings. And I think he might have latex. Kink, whatever. Now I'm running out of whiskey. Boo-hoo for me. Me personally, I have just kink for
You can't save her.
hot gym
Even if you get her out of here,
chicks.
then what?
Too bad
How long
gym
before she's
chicks
torn to pieces by a
don't
pack of
really
That is, if she hasn't been raped
are
and
not
murdered
part of
first.
metal scene. I was having
It's what she wants.
whiskey called Glenmorangie Tain.
You know it.
The Tain Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. I had a 1 liter bottle,
Still do the right thing here.
which I bought from the Nordic Metal Cruise boat
She won't feel
in February, and now it's gone. Goodbye. Was a good bottle of whiskey. Well, Ryan, that's true. But they would, fit me very well, being a gym guy, anyway. But usually you don't combine a chick who is into Burzum or Dark Throne with, doing squats and deadlifts also. So you have to either pick one. Yeah.
What happened?
That Nordic burial is like throwing it into the sea. Nah. Just fucking recycle.
On the fireflies.
Well, nothing wrong with some choking fetish.
A whole lot more like you, Ellie.
Paper boat.
People that are immune. There's dozens, actually.
I don't know what a paper
Ain't done 'em a damn
boat
bit
is.
good, neither.
Did I say paper boat?
They've stopped looking for a cure. I'm taking us home. I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't mean to say paper boat.
Wait! Let me go. Please.
You just come after her.
Oh, yeah. Now I get you mean kind of a Viking burial? When they put their stuff on a boat and then burn the shit? Yeah, if you meant that. Yeah, but I think this would be
Looks like we're walking.
too heavy an item for a pace game with this session, which is pretty cool, by the way. I'm just gonna toss this baby
Sarah and I used to take hikes like this.
back to the recycle box.
I think the two of you would have been good friends. I think you really would have liked her. I know she'd have liked you.
I bet I would have.
Down there.
Yeah. thinking the same. Then again,
Just a little bit further now.
normal barbed wire has only, has those edges on once in a like 4 inches maybe.
Here, I got it.
Yeah,
Give me your hand.
werewolf might have that eye for athletics.
All right, come on.
Hey, wait. Back in Boston, back when I was bitten, I wasn't alone. My best friend was there. And she got bit too. We didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I think he did.
So,
Between the spikes.
she says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
You don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you...
But
No
the
matter
NATO barbed wire is way more
You
badass
keep
than the
finding
old school
something
one.
to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear
but
to
it's-
me. Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Maybe in the sequel we'll find out what's going on with this
Okay.
Ellie. Oh boy, what a ride it was. Yeah, it was fun to play it all through with you guys and gals and whatever you identify with. That's the good thing with Finnish language, we don't have to worry about he's and she's, hers and hims. So I think the DLC, I will just finish it some evening next week maybe. Or maybe tomorrow, I don't know. Yeah, Ryan. Got it. Joni, I think the next one will be the sequel, I think. But I don't know yet. Because on Xbox I'm actually playing the Assassin's Creed Unity. But since my Xbox is in my living room, I'm not gonna stream from there for family reasons. Rautarians. I actually said on Rauta Patriot that it's Rautairs. The new Xbox looks like a fucking black box, whereas the PS5 is more like from Star Trek. Kind of a futuristic design. Anyway, I can't think of any reason why wouldn't I get both of them. But anyway, regarding this next game stream, I'm hoping it would be The Last of Us 2, but it's not likely to be next weekend because of Finnish Midsummer. Because, it means I won't be at home. Most likely anyway. And week after that, yeah, I guess The Last of Us 2 might be. And in July, I am very much thinking of getting that Ghost of Tsushima. And Nico, that's a good choice. Lafroa Quarter Cask, especially, is one of the best whiskies, in my opinion. Troy Baker and Nolan North, they're one of my favorite voice actors, by the way, gotta say. Really good ones. Slanche Nigo. But yeah, so many good games coming already this year. I'm very much expecting both Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Cyberpunk 2077, Watch Dogs Legion. I'm a big fan of both first two Watch Dogs games. And yeah, sorry Whiskey Jack, now you're a little bit late. You just missed the ending part. But yeah, Cosmic, you know, Scotland is the capital of whiskies, whereas I think Belgium would be the capital of good beers. But then again, I think Americans do make some good whiskies too. I think rye whiskies and bourbons in general are underrated ones, because I think they do have their own kind of a taste and style. And yes, Ryan, you need to. Belgians, they do know two things. They do know beers and they do know pedophilia. Don't go there for pedophilia, just go for the beer and we're cool. But yeah, I've been to Brussels for a week a few years ago. My friend is living there and he showed some places with some really good beers. Don't you know about the Belgium pedophilia scandal? Maybe 10 years ago, something like that. There was some sick stuff going on. It was like Vatican all over. So yeah, that's just some black humor on my part. But I mean, there was some pedophilia scandal going on in Belgium. Can't really remember the exact year, but I'll say some 10 years ago. All right. Anyway, there was some pedophilia ring going on. I don't know if it was related to human trafficking or something, but some really sick stuff anyway. But apart from that, yeah, beers, fucking great. Belgium's know very many different styles, but also you have to understand, Scotland also are among the best of beers made, especially if you're into IPA kind of beers. Scotch know how to do them. Then again, beer and whiskey always go hand in hand. 500 comments, good achievement. So yeah, and you Nico, you're all very true. This acoustic guitar thing is very much reminding of a Diablo 2 soundtrack. I don't know about Prince Andrew, but it might be. But yeah, Scotland is number one place if you ever want to visit a country with some good booze, some good alcohol. Visit Scotland, I say, because they have the best whiskies, they have some of the best beers. So Scotland is a good place to get wasted and drink some good malty stuff. I hope I can fucking make it to Darkness Guides Us Festival this year for some good whiskey. And some bands, obviously. But Belgium is good too. They have their good beer. What else? What else? America has some good fucking beers as well. Scottish accent is not that bad, really. How is the weather in Finland? It's pretty fucking hot. It seems like at least the newspaper was saying that this is gonna be the hottest summer in this millennium so far, and it has been way hotter lately. The past few years. So it's nice, and now it's something like 3:30 in the morning, and it's already quite clear. I mean, the sky is gray, but it's as bright as daylight, basically. Well, Ryan, today it was something like 26, 27 degrees Celsius. I'm not exactly sure how much that is in Fahrenheit. But hotter than typical. I remember it was something like, yeah, Rauta forecast. I remember it was like that, this much. No, it probably was more than this. When I was in the United States for that road trip in 2013. Yeah, you used a Trump calculator. Use a trumpulator and you will get the Fahrenheit. That was, by the way, the weirdest fucking scale ever used anywhere. Because you can't really like... I mean, with pounds and kilograms, you can just at least... I was about to make a guess, by the way, 80, but I didn't say it out loud because I think it might have been misleading. Because I know that 100 degrees is something like 37 degrees Celsius, which is human temperature. That much I know about Fahrenheit, but nothing else. Anyway, yeah, 20, 26, 27. And I was looking at the forecast today for next week because it's the Midsummer Fest, you know, and people are just, you know, spending their time outdoors. I might go for skinny dipping. And it looks very promising. It looks like it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be like gonna go outdoors and get our skin burned, do some barbecue, put sauna on. Well, it's not freezing. I would say 26 degrees, probably something that people from Texas are very fucking used to. Yeah, Whiskey Jack, I can tell you that if you like mild and rainy, this is definitely not that. Well, when I was in 2013, when I was in Los Angeles, actually it was only like 22 to 21, 22 degrees Celsius, and there was the sea wind. You know, it was very much like Finnish temperature in Los Angeles in July 2013. But in New York it was like 26, 27, and in Nevada it was like 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. So that's some whole shit different level. Yeah, Ryan, I know. I remember being in Nevada in 2013. Only for a day though, but it was something like 50 degrees almost. I remember it was, you know, where the Breaking Bad was filmed. You know, the Albuquerque area and the what's the second biggest Canyon area. Not Grand Canyon, but the Palo Duro or something like that. We were walking around at Palo Duro, and there were these temperature meters around the canyons, and it was showing 40 degrees Celsius. And that was in shadow. So when the sun was burning straight up from the blue sky with no clouds, it was fucking hot, man. I can tell you that much. Yeah, that was 50 degrees. I remember that from the local forecast that we thought it was just normal American summer. But on the television, when we had breakfast at the hotel lobbies, the TV said that it was the hottest summer in 100 years. Like the last record, the hottest temperature ever measured was 1913. 1913. So this was 2013, and it was the second hottest summer of all times. How did we deal with that? Well, we just suffered it through because we had no idea it wasn't no ordinary summer in in United States. Yeah, I guess so. And we thought it was just normal summer that like people were sweating all the time. We thought that was the normal thing. Like everybody's getting through this like every fucking year. And like, oh yeah, we're sweating, but we're from Finland. We expect to sweat like pigs when we come to the United States, especially the southern uh, states like New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and all that stuff. And we were like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. And the local waitress. We were in Dallas back then, having our breakfast at some Denny's, Denny's diner, and they were that waitress. There was a nice black woman who was like, "You people shouldn't have those black shirts on," and I was like, "Why?" Because it's a fucking. She didn't curse, obviously, but she was something like, "It's heat wave. We have heat wave here. So go to the local Walmart and maybe buy some white T-shirts." Because obviously I had my black, metal T-shirts, and it was this, I don't know, 30 something, probably outside. And I was like, yeah, this is some crazy weather for us Finns, because we had 4 Finns and we were always like sweating like pigs. And yeah, me too. I basically own nothing but black shirts. I have a few white ones, usually gaming shirts, but most of my band shirts are black. So we were just sweating like motherfuckers there like that. And this Denny's waiters was like, "Yeah, guys, you probably need to get some shirts from the Walmart. It would be a good idea." And we're like, "Yeah, this feels so crazy hot." And she's like, "Yeah, it's not normal this summer." But yeah, it was a really great trip. I still think it's the best trip probably I've ever done, because doing that kind of a road trip was so much fun, and having that heat wave really didn't ruin anything, because we got to see so many cool places from different places. We saw that huge meteor hole in the middle of, I think it was New Mexico, but I'm not sure anymore. And we saw that kind of petrified forest nearby. I think it was Oklahoma or New Mexico, stuff like that. And we saw Los Angeles, we saw San Francisco, San Diego, New York, Dallas. We went to the Kennedy Assassination Museum in Dallas. We had some great beers along the ways. We drove a lot through the countryside and big, interstate ways. So it was a really great trip. Went to Las Vegas, had a room at 5-star hotel in 26th floor. And now you have to understand we don't have any skyscrapers in Finland. So visiting places like Empire State Building in New York City or this 5-star hotel in Las Vegas, it's something that you don't get to experience in Finland, not even close. So it was very much a luxury trip, as much as, you know, experiencing this heat wave, experiencing the places from Breaking Bad, you know, seeing Grand Canyon, that was fucking mind blowing. So yeah, definitely great. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like traveling in the United States of America is that you have so many great different places. You know, with through those 50 states, one place from another, you see ocean, you see mountains, you see great forests, you see lakes, you get to see two different seasides, you know, Atlantic, Pacific Ocean. You see basically deserts, all kinds of crazy stuff. So lots of variety, like you said. It's really great, and it was nice to just drive those big interstate, you know, these major roads. Basically, you have like 6 lanes going one direction. In Finland, you are lucky to find 4. So it was crazy, and you know, I loved the trip. I loved the places I saw, and I was like, I have to come back, man. Yeah, I can imagine how fucking hot it must have been in Brazil. So no idea. Never been to South America, unfortunately. So I've been to Mexico though, and Mexico was great. I really liked it. People were so friendly. The food was super good, and it was fucking hot also. Yeah, traveling is something that I truly miss during these COVID times because I mean places like Mexico, Vietnam, United States, all being great. Spain, France, Scotland, UK in general. Yeah, they're great. Yeah. Let's have a threesome with the Prime Minister, you, me, and her. And let's do some dirty stuff. You bring the assault rifles, I bring the Prime Minister, and she will buy us booze, and we'll get it going. But yeah, it's almost 4 a.m. and it's time for Cherry to hit the sack. I'm gonna get something to eat before I go to the bed so I get some good night beauty sleep before my parents come for a visit and all that stuff. But guys, it has been my pleasure to talk with you once again. Be sure to check out review videos and maybe tonight's opinion video, which already got out some few hours ago, 10 hours ago maybe. And check it out. Let me know what do you think about age versus music taste. And catch you next week, I guess. Or sorry, no, next week. Next week is midsummer. Gonna be probably at the summer cabin, drinking, eating, and sauna. So maybe a couple of weeks then, or then some other night. I don't know yet. But anyway, have a great midsummer. I don't know if you celebrate that in at the States or other places, but at least here in the Nordic countries, especially in Finland and Sweden, we do celebrate it here, and I think it's gonna be great even though with the COVID fucker around. Yes, take care, good night, and bye bye.